And we are live. I am Phoenix on Purpose, and this is Purpose Not Permission. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for watching. If you aren't already subscribed, please do so. Like the video on your way into the room. And why do I always forget? I always forget my little intro. Like the video on your way into the room so that it can be distributed throughout YouTube. Also, please share the video. If you're watching the visual replay, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the topic. And if you're listening to the audio version only on my podcast, please download all episodes and give it a 5-star rating. So I wanted to talk about the topic today of you are your choices. You are your choices. Thanks for joining, love. I appreciate you. You are your choices. You are your choices. We are all our choices. And at any given time, at any point in your life, you are allowed to make a different choice. That's the part that I think a lot of us oftentimes forget, or we think because we made a choice for our lives that we are stuck and tied and tethered to that choice, and you aren't. You get to decide what happens in your life. You're the architect, you're the designer, you are the co creator of your own life, along with God and the universe, the opportunities that are presented to you, the steps that you take, the order in which you dictate, right? You're allowed to make choices. You're allowed to make a different choice, but just know and understand that you are your choices. I think for me, honestly, in this phase of my life and with my thought process and with where I am in life, as far as the mental headspace and the conclusions that I've come to about certain things, I am someone who could easily live outside of the USA permanently, or at least attain dual citizenship in a foreign country and maybe have, a space outside of the USA and then possibly travel back and forth. I've honestly reached that point. I am someone who has grown tired of American culture, particularly Black American culture. The materialism, I think, is out of control. It's perpetuated all over social media. I have never been someone who is materialistic. Liking top tier service and liking nice things versus being materialistic are two totally separate things. I like a nice car with certain amenities, a smooth ride, certain little bells and whistles, right? I like comfort. I am someone who likes comfort. I like a good handbag, right? I like a purse. I was someone who literally had designer purses for years that I wouldn't carry because they're vintage, right? And I like vintage purses, right? So the resale value is still, pretty good, but I wouldn't carry them on a daily basis because I didn't want all the wear and tear on them. Plus, there were certain environments that I just did not want to, have certain things in. So I would carry certain purses that were, a lot less expensive, but the wear and tear on them was so great that it was something that I had to replace often, and it wound up being a waste of my money, right? So I decided to just, go ahead and start carrying my vintage purses. But I am someone who isn't materialistic at all. I don't care for the materialism that is perpetuated in Black American culture, in American culture in general, right? So you are your choices at any given time. You're allowed to make a different choice. Um, as I look back, right, over my life and as I'm learning about different things, I came to the conclusion in my mind and I decided to be okay with the resolve of some people choose life and some people choose the opposite, just existing, and that's not living. My mother chose, if I'm being totally honest, although she lived a vibrant life, I believe that she chose to succumb to her diabetes and kidney failure and all those different things because she would not change her diet, and she worked herself into an early grave. She would not take any time from work to really care for her health. So that's why I'm someone who is hyper vigilant about staying on top of my nutrition, trying to remain as active as I possibly can, right? And be someone who is proactive versus reactive. If you look across society, American culture in general, a lot of us are obese. A lot of us succumb to the standard American diet, knowing that that food, all the processed foods that we consume, right, the things that we eat are what's causing the disease in our bodies. The standard American the standard American diet literally is the cause for, well, the cells that we have in our body that we wake up, right, with the toxicity, the toxic foods, the processed foods that we put in our bodies, right? They wake up the cancer cells in us. They wake up the diabetes gene in us. They wake up all those different things. Then, it wakes up the high cholesterol, the high blood pressure, leading, kidney failure, all those different things, the alcoholism, all those different things are a result of the standard American diet and the standard way of living, particularly in sedentary lifestyles. I had to tell myself my mother chose that. My mother was diagnosed very early on with diabetes. She had an early onset in her late 20s, I believe. And as she got older and as she divorced and as we moved up north and as she became an entrepreneur and as she succumbed to the hustle culture and did not take her health serious, and she had a balance. She had a work life balance, but she didn't stay on top of her health. She didn't stay on top of her mental health. She didn't let a lot of the things from her past go, right? She was still in love with my father, which was great for her children because it gave us a healthy perspective of who my father was. But still, she honestly was not happy with the choice that she made to divorce him. She wasn't. She was still in love with him. A lot of people are walking earth living with that same dis-ease, right? We are our choices. Ladies, we're the only ones who can choose to give life, right? To give birth. We're the only ones. Our bodies are the incubators for life, ladies. Some ladies choose to have babies. Some ladies choose not to. Some ladies choose to have babies very early on in life. Some ladies choose to have babies later in life. Whatever it is that you decide, that is your choice, right? The thing is, don't make the choice and then live to regret it. I don't regret not having children early on at all. I'm glad that I waited, right? I'm glad that this phase of my life that I am in is child free. I am glad eventually one day I will be a parent, whether that be giving birth in a nuclear family, adopting, whatever that may be, right? I will eventually have a family, right? But I am super ecstatic that I remained with my choice of not having a baby, especially by any of the men that I dated in my past. Again, I always want to say that in any relationship that I was ever in, whoever I was in a relationship with, those men were as good as they could be to me according to how they knew to be in a relationship. What I wanted for my life was something different. So that's why those relationships are no longer. Those were my lessons. They were learning lessons to teach me things about myself. Most of the relationships I ended, I'm a runner. I learned that adoptive behavior from my mother. That's something I had to realize. My mother was a runner. My mother was chasing something, and I don't know what it was or if she ever found it. She did find happiness in a relationship eventually, and that was her choice. But they never married. She decided to never remarry after my father. So, yeah, we are all our choices. We all make choices. I think some of us, again, make choices that we don't want to live with or that we wind up regretting later. I have heard conversations from researching on the internet, and one person in particular in my personal life actually said to me that they regret ever having certain children and they regret ever having children for sure by the woman that they chose to have the kids with. I think in relationships, it is extremely important for us to be able to look down the line at 5, 10, 15 years with someone and decide or visualize or have conversations with the person that we're in relationship with to figure out what the visual life plan is. When we're 20 something, it's not really feasible or realistic to have those conversations, I think, unless you're in a certain mind frame. But when you're dating early on in your 20s, everything is fun and everything is carefree. We have chemistry and things are great and we're having a good time and we have things in common, right? But we're not thinking long term. And there are lots of people who have babies with people in their 20s who they wind up saying, goodness grief, I made the wrong choice. I made the wrong decision. This is, again, I'm someone who does extensive research and I live in the reality of life when it comes to other people. So I have read, I have listened, I have watched, I have heard people say these things. Lots of times people will not admit these things out loud or even to themselves. There are women who regret having the kids that they had. They will make a million other statements. Oh, this is my baby, and oh, my baby daddy don't, all those things, right? With that aggression and that level of internal upset that's actually coming out of you. It's not a peaceful way of speaking about the situation. There are women who literally regret having the kids that they have because they made an unwise choice. So I always say to ladies and gentlemen or whomever else is listening, it is so important for you to really be intentional about the person you decide to have children with. That becomes your family forever. Forever, whether or not you are with that person. Once you have a baby with someone, you are tied to another human being forever. Whatever things come up with the baby, early childhood rearing, early childhood education, life choices and decisions, locations with life choices and decisions. Where you live matters because the other parent, if you're no longer together, needs to have access to that child, right? If you're trying to create a healthy co-parenting dynamic, right? Everything affects it. Your work schedule, what you decide for schooling, what types of extracurricular activities you allow that child to get involved in or that you want that child to get involved in. The other parent needs to be considered at all times. You want to avoid a child support court custody battle or toxic situation at all costs with the other parent. So you want to be intentional about choosing a partner who you know you're not going to have to fight with regarding your children should anything come up where you two wind up separating. I think we don't think long term enough. We think right now, today, how do I feel in this moment about this situation right now? We're not looking at what might happen, what if, just in case, right? All the just in case stuff. That's why life insurance is necessary, right? For the inevitable. That's why car insurance is necessary for the just in case. That's why health insurance is necessary for preventative measures, for testing and knowing, what all your levels are and what your health status is, right? That's why all of these things are in place for a just in case or for the long haul, but not enough people are intentional with their life for the just in case. You are your choices. And we have to live with those choices no matter what happens, no matter what the situation, no matter the status, no matter if the situation is favorable or not. We have to live with those choices. The baby situation, the fatherless homes, the single mothering, the single parent homes is a epidemic in the Black culture. It is a problem for us. It is a huge problem. I'm not worried about other cultures, and I'm not speaking as if, listen, my experience has been from what I have seen. Every single homegirl that I have ever had, And all of my younger cousins and both of my older cousins, all are baby mamas. All of them. From the time I knew them to I don't know. I haven't talked to a lot of people in many years. We've grown in different directions. I've grown in different directions with a lot of people. Every single woman that I know or ever knew in close proximity to me that I hung out with or was around or had access to is a baby mom. Ladies, that's it's your choice, ladies. You have to live with that choice. The epidemic of fatherless homes, it creates so many unnecessary situations that child then has to face and deal with later in life. So I always say to you, as a person who is proactive about choices like that in life, say to yourself, if you don't already have children, that you're going to heal first. You're going to find your purpose. You're going to walk in that purpose. You're really going to become self aware, get to know yourself, design and map out a life plan for yourself so that you then know what type of partner you want to usher into your life to create a family with. That's always the best way to structure your life. Those are the things that were taught to me. It was shown to me. It was forced down my throat. Don't have babies out of wedlock. You better not bring a kid in this house. That was shoved down my throat. Don't bring a kid in this house. I don't care what they're doing. You don't bring a child in this household, right? So I was scared, afraid. I didn't want to disappoint my mother, right? And it was more important to me to um even though I didn't understand and see the full picture at that time, I saw and I understood, but I overstand now, right? And I'm so grateful for that life lesson. I've seen a lot of people ruin their lives by having children by the wrong person. We see it every day. So, yeah, we see it every day. You are your choices and you have to live with those choices. Choose a partner who you know you're going to be able to partner with for life. And if you guys do decide to, join forces, um, get married, have a lifelong partnership, whatever that looks like, that it is indeed going to be for life. It's not just right now because we're attracted to each other and we make each other laugh or we have good times or things in common. No, what does 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line look like, right? So, yeah, you are your choices. You have to live with those choices. We can all, I think, make better conscious decisions so that we don't have to live with regret. Yeah. So and again, this is me saying to myself that I'm someone who would eventually leave the USA, leave America, leave um American culture behind is something that I never envisioned in a million years. I always wanted to eventually maybe move back down south and, of course, have a much slower life and lifestyle. But the more I think about it and the more I look around me and the more I see all the things that are going on and the things that are soon to come, with this election year and the things that may possibly come, I would for sure consider permanently leaving America. For sure, I'd be very comfortable living in Jamaica. It's actually my favorite vacation spot. Eating fresh food off the land, fresh fruits and veggies. I'm a pescatarian, so I do love fish. I don't have to have meat. I do, I like it. I love fish. I love salmon, but I could live off of fresh fruits and veggies and just be at peace. So, yeah, you are your choices. Wanted to add something else. Um, Wanted to add something else in that I can't quite remember what it was. I don't want to make this. Oh, yeah, I forgot I wanted to read you this list. Here's the thing that I think if a lot more people were more vocal and intentional about not rushing people in their process and not forcing others to feel like they're behind in life. I think that it's something that would be a lot more helpful to others. Um, Lots of us, we go through many different phases in life. We go through different stages, different spaces. We craft or design or cultivate what we think we want for our lives. And then maybe some situation happens that completely catapults us out of our structured reality into a different phase. And sometimes it just may take a little bit of time for some of us to figure out or map out or create in our mind the picture of what we want, right, for the next phase of our lives. I feel like it's never too late for any one of us to make a different choice, even if you made an initial choice and you thought you were coasting and you thought wherever you were in life was where you were going to remain. It's always your option and it's always your choice to make the decision that you don't want to remain there anymore and you want to do something different. That's your option. That's your choice. This is your life. Oprah, from this list that I just pulled up on the internet. And you know what? I'm going to read this list and I'm going to trust that it's true. I pulled this up moments ago. So, literally, I would normally do my research on something like this before I put it out, but I'm going to read it anyway. I'm hoping that this is pretty accurate, but I am going to add something to this list. So I found this list. It says Oprah was fired at the age of 23. She was fired from one of her jobs at the age of 23. Stephen King, the author, he was a janitor at the age of 24. Vincent van Gogh, failed missionary. So I'm assuming he failed his missionary school at the age of 27. J.K. Rowling, she's an author, the one who wrote Harry Potter. She's responsible for the whole Harry Potter franchise. She was a struggling single mom at age 28. Harrison Ford, he was a carpenter at age 30. Julia Child wrote her first cookbook at age 39. Martha Stewart was a stockbroker at age 30. We know her empire, right? Vera Wang, she made her first dress at age 40. These ages, I'm not sure about now, so don't hold me to this. Do your own research. Stan Lee, right? Stan Lee, the guy he's responsible for so many things in the comic world. Stan Lee, he wrote his first big comic at age 40, right? Morgan Freeman had his first major movie role at age 52. And Morgan Freeman is the voice of everything. His voice, legendary of everything. Um, this one person, I actually had to look her up because I heard her story quite some time ago. Miss Dorothy Steele. Miss Dorothy Steele is a Black American actress. She got her first major movie role in the Black Panther she started her acting career. She's at the age of 88, right? She played in multiple films, a lot of small films, but her first major movie role was in the Black Panther. She started her career at age 88. 88, right? She passed away in 2021. So there is no limit to what you can do, but just know that you are your choices. The choices we make, we do have to live with them unless we decide to make a different choice, right? Whatever your dream is, it's never too late to achieve it. Don't let anyone else tell you any different. Don't allow anyone at any phase of life, anywhere on the internet, especially, or anywhere else in life, tell you that you don't have options, tell you that you aren't allowed to make a different choice, limit you in a box of who they think you should be, right? Your life is yours. Other people's lives are their own. Your life is yours. There are things that you may want to do or things that you see for yourself that other people just don't see for themselves or that they just simply don't want to do. That's their choice. Your choice is yours. People will literally try to force their hot heavy negative energy all over you and shove you down in a box because they can't see for themselves what you see for yourself, or the opportunities that are available to you and have been presented to you aren't being offered to them or haven't been presented to them. Everyone can't be LeBron James. Everyone could not have been Kobe Bryant. Everyone could not have been Michael Jordan. There is only one Oprah. Only one, right? We have to be more intentional, especially us, Black American culture, to not force or impose our will onto other people. What's for you is yours. What's for someone else is for them. It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, that you envision for your life. We're not a monolith. Everyone isn't you, right? Again, I see myself living outside of this country. How many Black American women do you see that look like me who have ever said anything like that? Ever? How many Black American women that look like me, that you see looking like me, say that I can't stand materialism? I really can't. I don't enjoy overspending my money buying things that I don't need just to try to uh, impress other people. Nothing that I've done or that I have is for anyone other than me, right? I don't like Birkin bags. I don't like the way Chanel bags look. I don't. I think a lot of the jewelry that that is being forced on us for women particularly is very masculine. I think less is more. I like shopping at Target. I like shopping at Ross. This dress I have on today is from Target. It was probably no more than 45 bucks. I like shopping at Ross. I like paying $10 for a pair of jeans. I like spending $15 on a dress. I have a washer and dryer and a great cleaners. That is my cleaners is the 289 cleaners. They do as good of a job as the cleaners who charges $25 to press a dress, right? I don't like spending money in places where it's not necessary. A whole lot of my home decor, a ton of it is from Ross. I have one of a kind pieces from different vintage, what do you call it? The vintage antique shops, or the vintage I can't think of the name of it now. I have a piece that's actually from Habitat for Humanity, this huge horse that I have hanging up in my front sitting room, right? This huge horse painting. It was so beautiful. Immediately when I saw it, I wanted it. Initially, I wasn't going to get it, but I decided to get it. I didn't want to let it go, right? I love horses. Those are my spirit animal. Again, you are your choices. What we all choose is unique and specific to us. It doesn't have to line up with or be in line with or mirror or mimic someone else's life just because you share an outward aesthetic of someone else. I'm a type of person who doesn't like to focus much of my energy or attention on things that I can't control. I don't enjoy debating about anything in life. If it were up to me, I would listen to music and sing all day, literally. I don't enjoy debating politics. I don't enjoy debating race relations. Am I aware that those things are happening? Sure, absolutely. I'll leave the rah-rah debating and the uh the front line arguing and all of that to someone else. That's someone else's job. That's not what I choose for my life. That's not a good place for me to exert my energy, right? Not for me. um Debating race relations, right? Yeah, race relations are real. Racism is built into the fabric of our society. Racism is written in the Constitution. Racism is in every facet of every area of our lives. When you live in a certain zip code and you have a specific ethnic background, and you fill out certain demographics on your car insurance policy, literally, you get charged more because you're more likely to have an accident. The laws that are written in the Constitution, the things that are written, right? It legalizes slavery. We are well aware of what is. I am someone who likes to talk about solutions. I am solutions based. I don't want to talk about what was. That is my choice. It isn't that I'm ignoring anything that's going on. It's just that I can't personally do anything about it. Tweeting about it, screaming about it, talking about it every day, yelling about it, being upset about it, being angry about it destroys no one except me. So I choose to live life the best way that I see fit and exist in a society that is racist and exists around people who are peaceful and don't care to debate about it. That's what I choose. That's my choice. Other people can live their choices and choose what they want for their life, right? You are your choices. You're not obligated to be upset about, talk about, care about, debate about, have the mindset of anything that anyone else is doing or caring or talking or debating about, especially if it's not going to personally help you, right? I don't care to talk or debate about anything that, again, I cannot actively or I physically don't have the capability to do anything about. It is not a good way to use my time, mind, or my energy. So you are your choices. We are all our choices. You get to decide what is best for your life. Other people get to decide what is best for them. No one has the right to impose their will on you. And you are able to listen. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't live the way that you want to. You're able to pursue whatever dreams, goals, visions that you have for your life when the time suits you, when you see fit. The opportunities that are available to you, that are presented to you, that you don't have to fight, scratch, crawl, and chase, those opportunities will come to you. Anything that you're chasing is actually running from you. So keep that in mind. You are your choices. Make smart, wise decisions, not following the crowd, not following herd mentality, not doing what all the people around you are doing just because they're doing it if it doesn't work for you. Love, travel, and manifest. Live your life for purpose without asking anyone else for permission. And in case no one told you today, I love you. I love you with agape love. I love you because I love myself. I want the best for you because I want the best for myself, right? And I'll check in with you soon. Thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications, and I'll catch you in the next video.